So in this video, we'll be going over the new updated app launch for OnControls version 1.6.0. So there's a lot of features and functions that we released in this application update, but in this video we're going to focus on drawers, as well as we're going to focus on the new module updates. So that would be the iTunes module, the Sonos module, the Onkyo Integra module, as well as the Leviton module as well. So the first thing we're going to go over is drawers. So as you can see, I've got a simulation here. It's a stream of my actual iPad and my actual iPhone. So what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to show you, live workings of drawers and modules. So drawers are a way to create slidable areas within the interface to give you more room with really not taking up more screen area on the client's device. So as you can see, when I slide these drawers in and out, you're going to see a little gray tab that's going to show you that there's a drawer within that page. Now the drawers can contain anything you'd like. That can be, page selection, room selection. That can be control for, a camera or a live web URL. So on the case of the iPhone, what it's allowing me to do is once I go to the living room, it's going to show me my sources, but I can also slide the drawer in from the left, and it's also giving me room selection without having to go back to the home screen. I can also slide in from the bottom for some dealer support features, and again, all this stuff is customizable, and the dealer can lay this out for whatever type of needs that the client has. So then I'm going to go to my cable page. So once I get to my cable page, now the drawer on the left is going to be source selection for that specific room. If I bring that one back in and bring up my numerics, that's allowing us to create one page of cable transport commands without having to put a second page for numerics. This is allowing you that if you want to change the channel, you're just opening up that drawer and then sliding it back to your transport page. The same thing on the right, some volume control, some channel control, without having to create an additional page or take up space on that page for the client. So I can swipe in from the left, go to my Blu-ray player. I can swipe in from the left again and come down to just my radio page. So it gives you a lot of functionality without adding a lot of additional room. So the iPad, what I can use it for is, again, if I come from the bottom, I put some dealer support type features in there. The left-hand side, I put my top sources that I would jump to. Now if I go to my cable page, what you're going to see is, again, on the left, I've got my sources for easy jumping. But on the bottom, I put a drawer that contains some of the Leviton module features. So the drawers are also great for things that you don't necessarily want a whole page for. Thermostat control, security control, feedback, viewing a camera, or put multiple things within that drawer that the client now has access to without taking up that screen area. So you can put drawers on the left, the right, and the bottom. You cannot use the top drawer because that is used for Apple's Notification Center. So that's kind of a quick snippet on drawers. It's a great functionality aspect to the programming and is going to offer a much more simplified control and a much more simplified programming for programmers. So next we're going to go over the upgraded iTunes module. The iTunes module is something that we've had since the springtime, but now what we're going to be offering is some additional features. So any of the modules, the iTunes module is going to be specifically for iPad. So what you'll see here is it's obviously going to be streaming to a client's iTunes account that has iTunes running with a live stream on it. So what this is going to allow you to do is scroll through the client's artists, albums, tracks, and their music library, go through any books, any podcasts, and now we support video and also support TV shows. So this allows you to select a TV show, video, or music and send that feed to any room in the house that has AirPlay capabilities or any device with AirPlay capabilities, or send it back to the computer that it's streaming from. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm physically just going to hit play. And what you're going to notice is you're going to notice my track starts playing, as well as it's going to be showing you two-way feedback of artist, album, full visual feedback of the album as well. So I can click on a full-size image. That's going to make that image full screen, and then it will load that image in the center section and show you what we're streaming. Now, one thing to know about the iTunes library is so you would have iTunes running on a computer. That iTunes stream, as I change things in here as well, you're going to see that information move within the iPad app. So now that we support multiple iPads, it's going to allow you to send multiple streams to different devices. You would use the little speaker in the bottom right corner that once you've selected music, it's going to allow you to select volume levels as well as which room you're sending that information to. The same applies to movies, TV shows, music, anything that you'd want to do. So from there, that's the update on the iTunes module. The big thing will be that it supports multiple iPads as well as the TV show and the movie streaming. So now I'm going to slide in my drawer. I'm going to come back to my home page, and we're going to go over the Sonos module. So the Sonos module is going to auto-detect your zones in your house. So you'll see up here I can select my bedroom, and you're going to see the other zones of Sonos that I had that it found on my network. So the Sonos module is really designed to control your music library functionality. It's great for clients that already own a Sonos system and already have Sonos functionality, but they don't want to leave their control application to necessarily control their Sonos system. So this allows you to have Sonos control on a page, but also have drawers or have just buttons on the page that can control volume of a receiver or a theater system without having to go into another application. So as you'll see in the bottom left, it's going to give you textual feedback for artist, album, as well as a visual feedback of the album art. It's going to do music library functionality, so I can click through my albums, my artists, my songs, and this is going to show me anything that is synced to my Sonos music library. Music features, music streaming services, those would be handled specifically through the Sonos application. But one thing that you can do within our app is use the transport commands like play, pause, stop, volume control, muting, as well as the cue as well. So if I hit my cue, this is actually a cue made up of Rhapsody music that I put together. So I can hit play, and that's going to show you a visual change from play to pause. If I hit mute, you're going to see that the mute symbol is going to change. I can also hit next track, and you're going to see that not only the album art changes, but the track information changes. And this is from a Rhapsody pre-made cue. The same thing goes with Pandora information. So if you have a Pandora playing in a zone, and you open up the Sonos module and go to that zone, it will allow you to play and pause and skip forward and skip back and control the volume in that zone. The only thing it's not going to allow you to do is physically browse Pandora stations or go in your Rhapsody or Napster information and physically select artists and songs and searching and that type of thing. So it will allow you to do that stuff with your own music library. So if I come down to artists, and I can go through my artists and select songs and tracks within my music playlists. I just can't do it within the music streaming services, but what I can do is go to a zone and control the transport functionality of that zone. So this is the Sonos module. Again, it will continue to improve. We're hoping to add music streaming services sooner than later. But as of right now, it's strictly for music library functionality, but is a great addition to our modules. So the second to last one we're going to go over is the Leviton lighting module. So I showed you some of the Leviton lighting stuff that we had on the cable page, but I'm just going to hit my lighting page. So the Leviton lighting is going to allow you to control Leviton dimmers, Leviton switches, as well as locks. So these are all done through RS-232 through the Leviton 232 to Z-Wave adapter piece. This is going to allow you to use scrollers and sliders for the lighting dimmers. It's going to show you two-way feedback of the light itself, as well as two-way feedback of the lock if the lock is locked or unlocked. The nice thing about these modules is they're all simple and they're individual for each light. So that allows you to put these and label these on any page that you want. So you could take the can and the lamp switches that you see on the left there, and you could put those on your cable page. You could put those on any page within the programming or within a drawer on a page. So a lot of functionality and a really pretty interface for the Leviton module. So, and the last one is going to be our Onkyo Integra module. The Onkyo Integra piece is going to allow you to see two-way textual feedback within our application without leaving the app. And what it's also going to allow you to do is control the receiver with IP control, so no hardware needed for this. So this is really any Onkyo Integra receiver that has IP capability. We're pretty much talking anything 500 to 600 retail and up has that functionality. One thing I will say is the better the receiver, the better the functionality, the quicker the interface, and the less lag time in that module itself. So when I hit my Integra module, it's going to take me to a page that allows me to select the network functionality of that receiver. So Pandora, Rhapsody, XM Sirius radio, or USB is going to allow me to control a plugged-in USB to 30-pin iPod or iPad that contains music. So in this case, I'm just going to click my network functionality. That's going to take me to my zone selection, so choosing what music service I want to control within that receiver. I'm going to select Rhapsody. So the last artist that was browsed was Metallica, so that's what's still up. So from there, I can select an album. It's going to bring me into an album, and then it will allow me to select a song. So once a song's selected, you're going to see I'm going to have transport commands as far as pause and play and back and forward. I'm going to get album, two-way, artist feedback of who the artist is, what the track is, as well as if a song is playing, it's going to give me visual feedback of how far along in the track that I am. I also get the slider bar across the bottom to control the volume of that receiver, and then muting capabilities as well. So that's going to apply to any of the music services that the receiver would have the capabilities of doing, as well as the iPhone Apple connectivity through USB on the receiver itself. So that was an introduction to our Leviton, iTunes, Sonos, Onkyo Integra modules, as well as drawer capabilities, our slidable areas to create more space within a page. As I said, there's a lot more additions to this update, which can be found in the actual release notes of the application. So if you would like to add any of these features or you're interested in OnControls, please contact your dealer. If you don't have a local dealer that you're working with, please contact sales@oncontrols.com. Again, sales@oncontrols.com, and we can put you in contact with a good local dealer who has experience with OnControls as far as programming, sales, and integration to your existing system components. Thank you.